Hey guys, and welcome back to Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door. In this part, we start what is probably the best part of the entire game. Oh boy, I love this part.
Mario shoots the moon. I didn't realize we were playing Hearts.
It's actually kind of rare for an RPG's best part to be toward the
I'm being
end.
sarcastic. I'm being
Oh,
100% sarcastic. This is the worst part of the game.
okay. That makes a lot more sense. It's just something about RPGs, especially JRPGs. Not so much Western RPGs because they tend to have really slow starts, but JRPGs have this way of petering out toward the middle and end.
Well, here's the thing. I love Chapter 7's actual dungeon. I think it's very interestingly designed, and we'll get to that when we get to that. It's getting to the dungeon, which is the big issue. Um, oh, I think that's like one of the last shine sprites you. No, wait. There's one more shine sprite, and then we will have gotten all of them in the game. So you know that's good and all that. But it's not. This area is not actually a snowy area. Basically, we're going up to this snowy town so that we can get access to a cannon that will literally shoot us to the moon. So we can go to the Exnaut Fortress. That's our main goal here. And so we're going to the far outposts. Yeah.
Far outpost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Puns.
Yeah, I love puns. But anyway, I think the only reason why they did the snowy areas here is because in Paper Mario 1, the last chapter was just straight up a snow area. So, yeah, this is a good time to use Vivian because, again, Vivian is a fire elemental character, and these are ice elemental baddies.
She's smoking hot.
I guess you could say that. And level up, true. So, yeah. It's very weird looking at Paper Mario Thousand Year Door stuff again because I've actually been looking at a bunch of Paper Mario 64 videos recently, so it's very, very weird to see Thousand Year Door assets in battle stuff.
Such
right
higher resolution.
Oh yeah, basically. I mean, granted, gameplay-wise, it's a few minor adjustments from the original Paper Mario to Thousand Year Door, but it really shows that it's a good like 3 or 4 years difference between their releases. This is one of the only games I've ever followed the pre-release of very closely because I love the original Paper Mario. I remember seeing I remember reading in Nintendo Power about beta versions of Paper Mario 2. That was originally its title. Thousand Year Door was changed later. I remember actually being really weirded out by that. They're not going to call it Paper Mario 2? What? So, yeah, this is, I think, probably one of the first games I got, other than probably Pokemon Gold and Silver, one of the first games I got truly hyped for as a kid. So, yeah, that's interesting.
I think the problem I think the way people look at it when it comes to numbering sequels is that after a certain point, it gets kind of ridiculous, and really,
15.
I think the only franchise that can get away with it is Final Fantasy. Exactly.
And Mega Man.
They use subtitles instead of numbers because it may seem too gauche. I guess that's a way of putting it.
There's also, if you get too number happy with sequels, it looks intimidating because when you see a game titled Final Fantasy 15 and you're unfamiliar with the series,
It's like, oh fuck, I got 14 other games to play then.
Yeah, pretty much. And you know, it's leaving the numbers out, while chronologically confusing in a lot of cases. It's the unspoken implication that any game can be a starting point. Which, to be fair, in Final Fantasy's case, any game can be a starting point. Some are worse starting points than others, and there are some games that I wouldn't recommend you play first if you want a good idea of what the series in general is like. But
Some I wouldn't recommend playing at all.
It's actually because I know that Final Fantasy VII was the first Final Fantasy game released in Europe, so I'm imagining that there were a bunch of kids thinking that there were 6 games starring Cloud that they just never got the chance to play. So yeah,
that would explain why you start at level 7, wouldn't it? Oh, wait, no. You start at level 6 and you level up to level 7 after your very first battle. Right.
It's symbolic.
yeah.
But,
oh boy, this section. I don't want to. I don't want to talk about this section. I hate
Well,
it.
you're gonna have to. It's a commentary channel.
The worst part about it is if you want to 100% the game by doing all the Trouble Center missions, you have to do this entire sequence twice. I believe it's a different order in the locations you have to go, but you do have to do the general white side quest twice. Now this is the game does like hint that this is going to be a thing because early on in the game, very early on, chapter 1, there's a random bob-omb. I love
Wait,
the
don't spend anything.
Yeah.
Don't. You had 777 coins.
I didn't. I
Use
used
the in coupon.
the in coupon. But
Okay.
that's one thing I love about this area is that since it's Russian themed, he'll say da and yet, and I think if you're in the shop, like the item shop, it'll say, do you want to buy this? And it'll the boxes will say da, I mean yes, and nyet, I mean no. So I love that. But in the
How much vodka would you like, sir?
Yes, yes, vodka. But in the very beginning of at the very beginning, oh yeah, here it is. At the very beginning of the game, Chapter 1, you see General White, who is a Bob-omb NPC. He's very distinctive because he's just standing there. He's got a unique sprite. He's very clearly important, but all he says is, "My name is General White, and I want to be left alone." That's it. So you know that this guy's going to do something, and then you get to this part of the game. This part of the game. Okay, so this guy is the guy we need to talk to in order to fire the cannon. In order to fire the cannon, we need two things. We need permission from, I forget that Gold Bob, I think is his name. He's the rich Bob-omb guy who we saw both.
Gold Bob.
Gold Bob, thank you. He is the rich Bob-omb that we saw in chapters 3 and chapter 6. Really, all we need to do in order to get it. Actually, his scene's funny, so I'm going to actually talk about that when we get to that. But we also have to find General White, who is the operator of the cannon, and that is.
Is this gonna be like a rescuing the Time Lord and Ultima 7 tier runaround? Like
General White's all the way back in Petalburg, isn't he?
Yes, he is all the way back in Petalburg, or at least that's where you think he is.
Because like in Ultima 7, to rescue the Time Lord, you need to find out how to get to him, and to do that, you got to talk to the fuzzies. But to talk to the fuzzies, you got to get them to trust you, so you got to give them honey from the bees. But then once you do that, you got to talk to their leader and get permission from him, and he won't do that until you do something else for him. And then to do that something else, you have to do something else to get something else.
Can someone just say yes already?
You got to go somewhere to get a notebook, but that somewhere happens to be an island that has a city that was destroyed, and everyone there is a ghost now. So you got to go to the ghost-filled island, and you got to defeat a lich to get this guy to give you his notebook.
It's about that tier now that you're the way.
Okay, can someone just please say just kidding at this point?
No, because I'm not kidding.
Oh.
It was really that convoluted. In fact, in Spoonie One's old Ultima 7, the Black Gate review, he actually verbally goes through all the steps of this quest line, half of this quest line, and just goes through it as quickly as he can, says every line, and by the end he's breathing into a paper bag. It took like, I think it took like a full 2 minutes for him to get through all the steps.
So yeah, I really hope you found the quick travel tunnels in the Rogueport sewers at this point. I really hope you found those, and also I really hope that you don't save and stop playing in the middle of this segment, because you will never remember where you were supposed to go next. But anyway,
Oh man.
Yeah, but anyway, this guy, Gold Bob, he used to live in the Bob-omb village. He operates the cannon. He needs to we need to get his permission in order to fire it. You can, I think he'll just brush you off if you say nothing or one coin. He will take your 64 coins if you say 64 coins, but if you keep on saying everything you have over and over and over again, he'll be like, but you really need this money. He'll take it, he'll give you the permission, and then he'll give you all your money back. So say you'll give everything, and that's the best way to keep all your money. So yeah, so he keeps on going on and on about this. You just gotta mash the A button at that point.
You're spending all your money, man. Nothing a few dead Goombas can't fix, if you know what I mean.
Ah, man. So yeah, he gives you the permission to get the cannon. Yeah, so he wasn't serious. I think the first time I played the game, I did say 64 coins, and he keeps it if you do that. So you get all your money back. So don't worry about that. But um, we've got mail apparently. So yeah, now we have to go get General White.
You really don't like this guy, do you?
No.
Sit with about as much anger as Sideshow Bob running into a rake.
Okay, we think he's in Petalburg. He's not here, so you have to talk to Rin. I don't even. I think you do actually have. You actually have to talk to everybody and figure out where he is in each individual part of the side quest in order to get the next line to trigger. In order for you to finally find where he's supposed to be. So he says that he's going to a deserted isle to the south. So that means that we have to go all the way to Keelhaul Key. So better get your ass. Yoshi's gonna have really sore back by the time this is all done. So here you are, right here. Yeah, for your sanity, get the quick travel pipes. Yeah, so we just missed him, and he's going to... So now we have to go all the way up to Glitzville, which is really annoying because there is no quick travel pipe to Glitzville. You just have to take the blimp there. Oh, also, this is Jolene, just in case you didn't notice that. So, fun fact there. So, yeah, the annoying thing, too, is that you don't always know who to talk to in order to find him, which is really annoying. So now he's going off to a huge tree, so that means we have to go all the way back to the Boggly Woods. So, yeah, so General White, and you have somewhere dark. That means we have to go back to Twilight Town.
Yeah. Just to reinstate, those watching this video saying, "Oh, it's not so bad. You're getting it done in a
I'm
video's
jump
time."
cutting.
Keep in mind all the jump cutting that's doing.
Okay, here's the thing. This side quest took me about like 10 to 15 minutes with everything jump cutted. I'm still wandering around in the Toad Town tunnels, having to dodge enemy encounters, go from point A to point B. It takes you, even when you know what you're doing, about a half hour. It's just, and granted, it's supposed to be a joke. Like, the whole joke is that you're running around back and forth over the course of the game. And I mean, in retrospect, it's funny, but while you're doing it, it's a gigantic pain in the ass. And it's really, I think, the only black mark in the game's pacing is this goddamn side quest.
Yeah, I guess that's a problem. Sometimes when you take a parody too far, you end up playing the mock trope completely straight.
Yeah.
So it could be a joke all you want, but it's still shit on the pace.
Yeah. So, and then he just ends up being right where you start. So yeah, see, that's him right there, and he's going back in the house. So, but I will say, trying to find him is irritating. This part is incredibly satisfying. Because he seems to be asleep. Wake him up. You have to keep on jumping on him in order to wake him up, and this goes on for forever too.
Oh man, this reminds me of Trails in the Sky, where to get this sick kid in bed, to stop complaining, Estelle actually physically jumps on him, and it looks like just a weird quirk of the game's limited animation until he verbally says, "You're just going to open my wounds again if you keep jumping on me."
Yeah, don't ever say no, because then you have to start the whole jumping sequence all over again. I am really curious as to if speedrunners have a way to skip this segment, because it would chop off probably about a half hour off your runtime.
I forget, does tapping the A button while jumping on him not increase the jump count?
I
Because
don't
you
know.
can get nice and good. Can you get great, amazing, and all that?
It would be funny if you could. I just find it hilarious that they put the action commands into an out of battle situation. But anyway, you find out that he was looking for you the whole time. And yes, as I said earlier, there's a trouble center mission where you have to find General White, and you have to do that all over again. I've never done that mission. I've never 100%ed that or because of it. I mean, granted, it is on my bucket list. I'm not gonna die without 100%ing one of my favorite games. But It's
Oh,
not a
man.
priority.
It does sound like a tedious chore.
Yeah, I mean, granted, some of the jokes that the game reuses, I think, work in the benefit of... the game is a funny game, and it plays with RPG conventions in a very funny way. Like, for example, like the say I'm sorry 100 times thing. This is, I think, really the only major joke in the game that falls somewhat flat. So,
He says as Mario falls through a trapdoor.
yeah. Well, he would fall flat, because he's a piece of paper. Yeah. No, guys, wait, no, guys, what? Put the rocks down, guys, please stop. Okay, yeah. So this sequence is actually pretty cool. So yeah, that's the entire first half of the chapter is just trying to find General White. If you're doing this segment on, if you've missed, it's actually a very good time to get lost shine sprites if you happen to miss them, though, because you're going to be going back and forth across the entire game anyway. So I will say that, but and so anyway, now we gotta shoot the moon. So this sequence I always think is cool, you know, reuse sound effects notwithstanding. So yeah. So at the first when I first played this game, I thought that the cannon they had on that statue was going to be something what it looks like. Instead, this is like supposed to be. It looks like some kind of like space launch instead. So like this section I think is pretty cool personally. But yeah.
It's like a missile silo.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Because I think the actual this is the cannon right now. It's a lot more grandiose than what I thought it was going to look like. Like, because I thought it was going to be like a bullet bill cannon or something to that effect. And I love the way that they fire this thing too, because they've got this gigantic cannon, and they live in a city of bob-ombs. The way that they fire the cannon in this game is by filling it with bob-ombs and having them all explode at the same time.
A non-lethal explosion.
Yeah.
Should clarify because they're all fine in the end.
Yeah, they all have parachutes, although I'm not sure.
Jim won't make it.
Well, who cares about that guy anyway?
Yeah, fuck Jim.
Yeah, yeah. What did he ever do?
I kind of like how the top of the cannon's still in the shape of a classic Mario pipe.
Yeah, it's it's just one of those little things, and also it's a chance for them to have a whole bunch of bombs, like a whole bunch of sprites on screen. Wow.
Are they all end their sentences with
Yeah,
some sort of explosion onomatopoeia?
They're all also in their running animation while standing on top of each other's heads.
yeah, that is something that I think the bob-ombs in Chapter 3 did as well. I guess it's just a verbal tick only some of them have. Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite scenes in the game if you're watching speedruns, because as we mentioned before, there's
Yoko's flying too.
I don't think he circles like everyone else. I think he just kind of glides through the sky, which is just absolutely hilarious. So, yeah.